Once we came out here and were paddling this on a regular basis, we had some local in town who befriended us, and they would drive shuttle for us. One time we met this preacher. He's like a 70-year-old guy, just real diminutive and humbled behind the wheel. And he drove us up. Didn't say 2 words on the way up, just really quiet. We rolled through Sang Run, and one of the locals must have got on a CB and told some of the other locals that the boaters were on the way. And before we got to the put-in, cars were chasing us down. And as soon as we unloaded the boats, this old guy just spun the truck 180 degrees, floored it, spun gravel all over, and hauled us out of there. And it was amazing. This 70-year-old guy goes, woo! He was gone.
Maryland has done a really good job of keeping this area clean.
The watersheds of the Cheat and the North Branch were just riddled with abandoned mines.
You can go north of here into Pennsylvania, you can go west of here and south of here, and just a few miles in all those directions, and you're going to find mine acid streams with no life in them.
When the Walden Scenic legislation came along, it turned off pretty much everybody in Garrett County.
One month it says in the newsletter that the bill is going in, and the next month it had gone through. It was a backroom deal, and the local people were pretty upset about it.
At that point, they came in and put a lot of restrictions on the local landowners as to what they could and couldn't do with their land.
At that point, the boaters became the only focal point that the locals had to express their unhappiness.
They had a CB network, and if they saw a boat running around with a kayak on the roof, they would start calling around, and there'd be a group of people down at the bridge, often armed, always yelling things at you.
And they started taking pot shots at people out on the river. I'm sure they weren't really trying to hit them, but nonetheless, it's distressing to be floating down the river and hear gunfire up on the hillside.
We've had tires slashed, broken glass on the put-in trail.
And also just a lot of very angry confrontations at the Sang Run Bridge. It was just a very hostile environment.
And then Tom McEwen got arrested for trespass.
Over the course of a year, I had a chance to think about it a little bit, about what he was saying, that he could actually keep us from walking down to the river. And I even saw the various maps. Well, that easement continues right across the river. When I was carrying my boat over the barbed wire that was still there's a guy who was running for Attorney General, and he came over and he said, "You can't go there, you'd be trespassing." I said, "I don't think I'll be trespassing." He said to me, "Well, we're going to charge you if you do." So I said, "Okay, here's my name and address. Charge me, because I'm going to go." And then about 2 weeks later, I got a notice in the mail, and that I was being charged for trespassing. I was tried there, and we put up our defense and everything, but I was found guilty still of trespassing and fined $1. We had it appealed. I thought it might have, far-reaching implications, because back then there was no other put-in. In a couple of, weeks later, the they decided that they gave us a null pros. I didn't get a record. The trouble was when they null pros it like that, it meant that nothing was really decided. So it wasn't decided that we could enter the river.
There was this period of a weird time where somebody determined, well, the bridge itself for sure is state-owned property.
We'd meet in Friendsville and park up under the interstate bridge and try to keep it as nonchalant as possible.
You'd have an extra driver with you.
You'd sit in the van already with all your gear on.
You'd drive across the bridge,
Climb down the bridge abutment and stand on the footer of the bridge abutment.
and it was like, you know, boom, 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 go, go, go. Get around the corner, and then you didn't really worry about it.
By 1983, we had actually gotten in with one of the landowners who I kind of kid and say we pay them protection money, but they let us put in on their property. But once we started giving them money, they became really friendly. And
you know, then it started to really cool off. Everybody just started to accept the way things were and take it from there.
it's been a good situation ever since.